All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. You got to get down here for lunch, get down here for dinner. Great beers on tap and in the bottle as well. A proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. And while you're here, you can put some bets down on the ponies for the various different tracks in the country. You see the monitors behind me. You can get your own little station and have a good old time. They've got amazing wings here. All-you-can-eat lunch buffet. They've got all-you-can-eat boneless wings, steaks, spaghetti and meatballs, you name it, here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. Make sure you get here. Make sure you get their lunch. Make sure you get their dinner. And gift certificates are always available as well. Mike and Shelly and the gang doing a tremendous job. Well, look, this video is simply dedicated to last night as we record this, the national championship game between Alabama and Clemson, and this is something that we have never seen. We have never seen Alabama get blown out like this. Since 2011, they've only lost double digits twice, by the way, twice in the last almost a decade. They lost by double digits in the Sugar Bowl to Oklahoma, and they lost by double digits to Auburn one year. That's been it. They just don't lose by double digits. This team does not get blown out. Well, guess what? Last night, Clemson absolutely put it to Alabama in every which way. Now, here's the thing. Before we get into Trevor Lawrence, before we get into how it happened and all the rest, I think there was a crucial moment that happened in the second half. This game was still only a two-possession game, and Nick Saban decided to go for to fake the field goal. 4th and 6, decided to fake the field goal, have his holder grab the ball and run for it. First of all, that's a long way to go for a holder to catch the ball and run with less athletic ability than pretty much everybody else. The second factor is that if you're going to go for it, and obviously I know he was trying to fake it, but if you're going to go for it in any way, shape, or form, just have your offense go back on the field and just try for it, right? But at that particular moment, it was only a two-possession game, and I didn't feel like it was that out of control yet. That play happens, everything goes down the shitter for Alabama. They're turning the ball over left and right. Their secondary is nowhere to be found. They're not guarding people. The freshman Ross for Clemson makes an amazing catch and then an amazing run play with yards after the catch on plays. Third downs. I mean, Alabama couldn't get off the field. It was just spiraling out of control. And then once Tua Tagovailoa tried to do a lot more, smoke and mirrors came out as a hybrid quarterback, and Clemson's defense took care of business. Travis Etienne became even more unstoppable. The defensive line for Clemson became even more unstoppable. But I thought that was a huge moment. It was only a two-possession game at that point. I thought Nick Saban blew it. That was probably the worst decision of the Nick Saban era in terms of going for it on 4th and 6 instead of kicking the field goal. What a terrible decision that was. As far as the overall game and how this thing played out, you really have to start and end with the freshman Trevor Lawrence. This guy is absolutely out of his mind good. He is right now the best quarterback in college football as a freshman. He's a guy who next year is going to go in as the favorite for the Heisman Trophy. Remember, Clemson comes back next year loaded. Etienne's back, Lawrence is back, Ross is back, a potpourri of other players on both sides of the football are back. This team is going to be locked and loaded to get back to the national championship game. In fact, I would tell you that we may have Bama and Clemson 5 next year, considering the players that are coming back on both sides. Jerry Jeudy and Tua Tagovailoa, they both got top 5 classes coming in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alabama-Clemson right back in it next year. I know a lot of people are pissed off that they met again and all the rest. I'm not. I like to see the best of the best of the best. And, let's face it, they haven't faced 4 times in a row in the national title game. There's been an occasion where they've played in the semifinal. So I'm all for it if they play again. I really am. These are the 2 best teams, clear-cut best teams in college football. Trevor Lawrence, though, is really unbelievable. I mean, this guy just looks like the quarterback. He looks like a quarterback. He plays the part of quarterback. He's got the size. His arm strength is absolutely incredible. His accuracy is awesome for a freshman. And to think that he's still going to develop even more from what he has right now, pretty remarkable. I was actually visiting with Bryant and Stratton College this morning, and my good buddy Danny Frasino, who's the head basketball coach there, we were talking today about how and Danny brought it up. He had mentioned, if Trevor Lawrence came out right now, he might be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. And I don't think that take is that far off, really, when you think about what Trevor Lawrence was able to do to an Alabama defense, what Trevor Lawrence has been able to do basically all year. And what a great move by Dabo Swinney to put Lawrence in there to make his team better over Kelly Bryant. That was a very, very good, strong, aggressive move by Dabo, and it really paid off. And then we get to the coaches. I think the next layer is looking at Dabo Swinney, and now he has 2 national championships for Clemson. He won 1 as a walk-on player for Alabama, of course, but Dabo Swinney right now is in the conversation as one of the top 2 or 3 coaches in college football. Saban and Dabo are the top 2 guys. I don't think there's any question about it. You look at the way he motivates. You look at the way he talks. I mean, look at the press conference after the game, not the press conference, but the on-field interview with ESPN after the game. How remarkable was it that Dabo Swinney basically deflected all of the attention to him, onto other coaches in college football. I wish every single great coach got to experience a moment like this. And he's done it. He's done 2 of them. He's won it twice. He's experienced this twice. It's absolutely remarkable how a guy like Dabo Swinney, with all of his success, with the program he's built at Clemson, how he has maintained the level of excellence, how he motivates his players. How would anybody not want to play for this guy? Just totally deflects the attention away from him onto the other coaches, and I just think it's a remarkable thing. And Dabo needs to be applauded. Dabo needs to be absolutely praised in terms of what he's done in the college game, and to think that he's got all those guys coming back next year, and to think that winning a national championship, I can't imagine there's anything better than that as a recruiting tool, right? And Clemson's already got the next recruiting class coming in. As far as the Alabama side goes, it was just a really, really bad game for them. That's all there is to it. People are trying to get into the Nick Saban legacy thing this morning. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think the guy is absolutely, positively still the best coach in college football history, no questions asked. And as far as Tua Tagovailoa, all of a sudden, people like Joe Giglio are ripping Tua, saying, well, you know what? He really wasn't that good. And, you finally saw a great quarterback. Alabama saw a great quarterback, and Tua's not that. Really? Just because Trevor Lawrence is better and he's more of a pocket guy, you're telling me that Tua Tagovailoa isn't a great college quarterback? What a bunch of garbage. I mean, it's one game. It's a national championship game in which Alabama lost to Clemson, a team that dominated everybody from start to finish, except for Syracuse, but dominated everybody from start to finish. It's just not a valid argument. Tua Tagovailoa is still an amazing player. Did you see what he did last year, coming in off the bench and winning a national championship? To think that he's not a great quarterback because his team, again, team sport, because his team got absolutely mauled by Clemson, to think that he's not a great college quarterback is seriously irresponsible. But this was a terrific win for Clemson. They are now right there, even Steven with Alabama. They've beaten them twice now in the Nick Saban era, and it's now Clemson-Bama. You could pretty much make that right there. They're even Steven as far as the 2 best teams in college football, where I thought Bama maybe had a little bit of an edge, not just because of more championships, but because Saban a little bit more than Swinney, because of the recruits a little bit more than Clemson, because they had beaten them in the national championship game, because they had more national championships overall. Now, though, with Clemson beating Bama twice, even Steven, here we go. And do not be surprised if it's Bama-Clemson 5 next year. I'm Mike Lindsley, IGTV, YouTube, Facebook, 9 Minutes with Me, here from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. This place is awesome. I'm about ready to dive into some lunch. Might get some wings. Might get a hot beef sandwich. Not really sure, but you got to get down here for their lunch buffet every single day. They're all-you-can-eat specials with boneless wings, steak, and spaghetti and meatballs. A proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. Great lunches, great dinners. Mike does an amazing job cooking back there and running the ship here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. Great place for a business meeting as well. Thanks for watching. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, as I always tell you. Enjoy the games.